A desperate widow, a mountain of debt, and a miracle hidden in something so small it was almost overlooked. This is the story of a woman with nothing left to lose, and a God who multiplies what we place in His hands. This is not just a story about oil. It's about faith when resources run dry. It's about obedience when instructions make no sense. It's about a God who fills empty vessels until there are no more left to fill. Stay with us until the end, because this story will teach you what to do when your need is overwhelming, why God often asks what you already have, and how miracles begin the moment you stop focusing on what's gone and start trusting what remains. Before we begin, if these stories speak to your heart, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new film like this. Like this video and share it with someone who needs hope today. It truly means the world to us. Now, let's begin. The prophet Elisha was known throughout Israel as a man through whom God worked wonders. But one day, the miracle did not begin in a palace. It began in a poor home filled with fear. A woman came to Elisha crying out. She was the widow of one of the prophets. Her husband had served the Lord faithfully, but now he was gone. And with his death came a crushing reality. "My husband is dead," she said, "and you know that he feared the Lord. But now the creditor is coming to take my 2 sons as slaves." In that time, unpaid debt meant loss of freedom. Her children, her future, were about to be taken from her. She had no money, no influence, no one left to turn to. Only desperation and faith enough to seek the man of God. Elisha listened carefully. Then he asked a question that must have felt strange in her moment of panic. "What shall I do for you? Tell me, what do you have in your house?" She looked around the empty room. No furniture of value, no food stored away, no silver hidden in a corner. "Nothing," she said. "Nothing at all, except a small jar of oil." Just a little oil. Not enough to sell, not enough to solve her problem, not enough by human standards to matter. But it was enough for God. Elisha said, "Go, borrow empty jars from all your neighbors. Do not ask for just a few. Then go inside, shut the door behind you and your sons, and pour oil into all the jars. As each one is filled, set it aside." No public miracle, no crowd, no spectacle, just obedience behind closed doors. The widow did exactly as she was told. She went from house to house, borrowing empty vessels, large ones, small ones, cracked ones, worn ones. Her neighbors may have wondered why. She didn't explain. When she returned home, she shut the door. Just her sons, and a single jar of oil. She lifted it, she tilted it, and the oil began to pour. One jar filled, then another, then another. She handed jar after jar to her sons. "Bring me another," she said, and the oil kept flowing. The small jar never emptied, the oil never slowed. As long as there were empty vessels, the oil continued to pour. Finally, her son said, "There is not a jar left." And then, only then, the oil stopped. She went back to Elisha, breathless, overwhelmed, trembling with wonder. He said, "Go, sell the oil, pay your debt, and you and your sons can live on what remains." In one act of obedience, her debt was canceled, her children were saved, her future was restored. Not because she had much, but because she trusted God with what little she had. What can we learn from this powerful story? From the widow, we learn that God is not intimidated by our lack. When she looked at her house, she saw emptiness. When God looked at her house, He saw potential. If you feel like you have nothing left, no strength, no answers, no resources, remember this: God does His greatest work with what we think is insignificant. From Elisha's instruction, we learn that faith requires action before explanation. The widow did not understand how oil could solve her problem, but she moved anyway. Faith does not wait for clarity. It moves in obedience and lets God handle the outcome. From the empty jars, we learn that God fills what is brought to Him. The oil did not stop because God ran out of power. It stopped because there were no more vessels. How many miracles are waiting because we have stopped bringing empty places to God? And finally, from the oil itself, we learn this truth. What God supplies is enough, and more than enough. He paid her debt, He preserved her family, and He gave her a future. This story reminds us that miracles often begin in private, behind closed doors, with simple obedience and faith in a faithful God. If you are facing overwhelming need today, ask yourself the same question Elisha asked. What do you have in your house? Place it in God's hands, pour it out in obedience, and trust Him to do what only He can do. Because the God who filled empty jars still fills empty lives, and He has not changed.